MK abakwazi ukuvuma and bayimpumputhe ezibonayo ngoba ngisho into beyibona but bazokuphikisa kube ngazuthi leyo nto ayikho yabo njengamanje kuno comrade osanda kuphuma manje mawumtshela into kuba ngazuthi akayiboni kodwa uyamtshela uthi vula amehlo yena uyawavala vula amehlo yena uyawavala because ama comrade akholelwa kumuntu kodwa into mhlazana yakhulunywa yilomuntu abakholelwa kuyena bayayivuma correct kodwa mengabe ikhulunywa uzizipho bayayiphika bathi ayikho but lento ikhulumayo same thing mengabe kusasa kusakuthiwa uZuma lwabamlandelayo uthi akwenzeke kanje kuzoba yiyona because ama comrade amaningi ku MK I'm not sure noma ipolitiki yabo iyaphela noma banalama interest amaningi abafuna ukwafeza. I'm very confused and ngiworried kakhulu ngaleli yaqembu because ipolitiki yase South Africa yehlelwa ivalue mhlambe ngifuna ukusho njalo ipolitiki yase South Africa yehlelwa ivalue ngenxa yaleli yaqembu kanti belizoba iqembu eliright ukuba bebekade bezostika ekutheni kukhululeke umuntu omnyama lento abayishoyo but uyabona ukuthi ama interest maningi kakhulu zizipho ngiyabonga kakhulu umuntu uyakulandela kakhulu and siyabonga kuje iplatform yakho iyiqiniso indaba yepropaganda uyingeni siyabonga kakhulu ngicela ukwehlela ngezansi.
Okay, I don't know if I should read this for you guys. The scoop that I got, it's actually an explanation of the offenses that Floyd has committed. Yeah, but it's a proper explanation of what he has done wrong and what he has been charged of. Yeah, but okay. Who else? Okay, Ngena Pumlan.
Yo, I wanted to jump the queue to answer what Putu was saying. But Pumlani no BVK Nyakolis. Putuam, if we remember when Floyd joined the MK, the ululation no good jabula wabantu be MK, but we've got a political jam. The very same thing that was said by Umeri Party. We must not also forget his behavior when he got into MK. He got into MK ngokusikhukumuza acabanga ukuthi ungcono kunabo bonke abantu. Wafika laphana wahlanganisa iMK ikhanda. He started removing Abomeri Party. He started building parallel structures from the structures that were there within EMK. He started doing his own things and he started saying to people that people must not go to Umsholozi directly. People must go to Umsholozi through him. This was a crafting of his own doing. There is a comrade who went into life like DJ Spoo and started saying the way Floyd is so divisive, the way Floyd ahlanganisayo kakhona, the way Floyd angalalele ama views abantu, the way Floyd azenzela amathanda phakathi kwe-MK, because he went into MK thinking that he's the Messiah. He is needed and nobody there thinks better than him. Those that have worked with him and those that know him closely, it is his character. Floyd unjalo. Floyd is divisive. Even Nagu EFF, he was always divisive. He wants to be the one who shines above everybody else.
Yeah, anyway, the part of this report, but I think I'm going to read it for you guys. I'm thinking of not sharing it and post it tomorrow. Eat up. There's a part here that says, any member who sows division, or this is a copy of the report of Floyd's dismissal. It says here, any member who sows division or acts to undermine the cohesion within the party shall be subject to disciplinary action. Implication, the SG acted outside his powers to destabilize a legitimate structure, a serious violation of both organizational and disciplinary discipline and unity. Unauthorized disclosure of information which is dismissible offense, leaked confidential internal communications, recommending disciplinary action. Zininzi manu Floyd achargwa ngazo. I wonder unoba mhlambi, or maybe what they did is they bamfake under microscope baqonda bazamcatcha in the form, because there's a lot in this disciplinary report. There's a lot of things that they are mentioning. So maybe bamtrepile.
No, it wasn't a trap. Angithi umuntu makaloku ayenza into repeatedly nimkhuza nimwenza.
But i-evidence isakabazifumenephi.
No. Mary Padi, in one of her interviews, she said, I got a letter of dismissal, which was an internal letter. That letter was later published. Before she could even open the email, that letter, simultaneously when Floyd sent the letter to Mary Padi, he had already published it on the media.
Yeah.
I don't want to speak about my personal experience with him, of having known him and having Zabalazad with him at Vets, and how he has been and how he has treated us. But we are not there. But what I'm saying is...
It was definitely a trap. I feel like they trapped him. You misread the statement. Which statement did I misread? Ish. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, sorry, finish, Chris, so that I can give others a chance and see if I can read this disciplinary thing for you guys.
Yes, ma'am. I mean, as I was about to conclude. So he went into MK, saw divisions, found structure, started imposing people who were not even supposed to be there, started building his own clique, people who will support him. The very same people that were who are busy saying hands off SG, are the very same people that Floyd had given positions to. Now, there was a whole lot of dissatisfaction with Floyd. Not being, I mean, when he was appointed, people were happy. When he started making moves internally, he destabilized the movement, or he destabilized the party to a point that people got angry with him. Those that were zabalazing in with MK, who were in the forefront to make MK get the numbers that it got, he started sidelining them, and he started putting people that were aligned to him in the party. And he saw divisions. And we know he tried to sow a division between Julius and Mbuyiseni before Mbuyiseni left. And even when he left, he still threw Mbuyiseni under the bus. He went to Malema unprovoked to say, yeah, Yazwi, this Mbuyiseni Ndlozi, I don't see him lasting here within the party. He is going to leave. And ngamampela uJulius wayisho watshela uMbuyiseni ukuthi wena uFloyd uthi wena uzohamba. Umcithama, the reason why he left the EFF, he says he was pushed out by Floyd. So Floyd is a division person.
It's divisive.
So guys, very divisive, and we should not. I will try to protect Unantsika.
Frank, I mean, if you don't mute your mic, I'm taking you down.
Yes, I would like to protect Ududuzile on the point that was said by Umtu. Duduzile was seeing the divisive character of Floyd and how Floyd was trying to run MK, de-associating it from its roots and trying to make it an elitist party, or a party which is controlled by him, whereby his word is the last word that should be said. And true to form, they all gunned against him. Everybody brought in their complaints about Floyd, and they became a charge sheet. That is why today he's dismissed, and I hope they don't even take him to parliament. They make him a ground force, and he goes and runs his
As I said, I'm not following Dudula. I didn't listen to it fully when I come visit. I just listened to half, but I just got a scoop now. I don't know if I should share now or I should wait tomorrow. Yeah, in the Nendaba MA, I've got news. I'm so jealous of this news. The thing is, if I posted this news on Twitter, it's gonna trend. And by the time I wanna go and make my video tomorrow, izobe say trend. I've got a detailed report with me now that I just got of why Floyd was removed. It's not because he went to Lantuzen. There's a lot of things. I think they trapped him because the way that they've written all these things down, I think maybe bamfake a trap so that every time he does something, they take it, they take evidence. They've managed to file izinto azenzileyo bazithi put together. If you don't say it now, someone will. There's no chance that someone. I just got this scoop now.
But this,
Thank you so much, Chris. Your time is over, Goku brother. Come on.
No, Matsis, each charge sheet of Floyd was drafted by a judge, so there was no way that he could escape.
Oh, Ulanduzu shop. Yeah, the way. Okay. Anyway, thank you, Chris. Pumlane, you can come in. If you don't speak, I'm gonna take you down. Pumlane, you can come in. Nwabisa, if you don't mute your mic, I'm taking you down.
Ngibingelela abafowethu abakhona lapho ngiyathemba ukuthi niyaphila.
Siyaphila. Nwabisa, if you don't mute your mic, I'm gonna take you down. You can go on, Pumlane.
Yeah, zizipho kahle lapha ebengingenele kahle. Bengithi ngingenele ukudila nalo sisi lo uGrand Forces khathi engena lapha. So nakho ke siphuma out. But ebengifuna ukuthi ngicacise ile ukuthi iMK ayisoze yavuma ukuthi uFloyd angeke angene eParliament because into yabo vele ibuild up engamanga and ama members akhona ayazi ukuthi MK vele ibuild up engamanga and abayifuni lento ukuyithola ngabanye abantu abaseceleni sebeyisho ukuthi lento le ayikho because uma bonke bezokhumbula kahle uZuma ubuilde iMK for izimpi zakhe yabo and akakufihlanga lokho ukuthi yena uNC yabo so angeke azashiye ikhaya elikhulu then abantu bakhona aka ba MK bebebona sebekhuluma ngeforward MK ngekusasa le MK party sonke besingazi ukuthi na lokho bakuthatha phi because uZuma akakhulumi ngakho and lona iqembu esingathi lingene liyiqembu esingalibala lezepolitiki iqembu esilibala njengama companies because lapha mawuthi yabheka ududuzile uyimanager lapha uZuma angimazi ukuthi ngambiza ngani because uyaqasha uyaqosha futhi yabo and akekho futhi angamtshela ukuthi akenzini akangenzi ini yabo so vele obviously eziqembu elibuild up engamanga if uqhamuka neqiniso akeke beze balivume because uthe uZuma mangabe engena efightela izimpi zabo then ama MK members ebengena wona ezoyifightela ama positions abo and noma sebebona vele ukuthi lento ayikho so akumele vele bakukhombise ukuthi ayikho because nabo bafuna idulo bafuna imali bafuna ukubenefit bafuna ukhola but siyazi ukuthi into abayenzayo into engekho ilokho wezizipho bengingenele kuphela bengithi ngifuna ukuthi ngikucacise ukuthi babone bonke ukuthi siyayazi indaba yeMK ukuthi into engekho wonke umuntu uzilwela for iside lakhe lapho akekho umuntu olwela omunye akekho umuntu olwela abantu abahluphekile futhi abangekho futhi umuntu oyimisele ukuthi fanele kubuye umhlaba because if ukuthi bebekhanda bebuilda iEFF ngeinhloso zokuthi yena bafuna ukulokhuza ukusiza abantu abamnyama bengamele engabe iMK yayikhona because iEFF ibikhuluma ilanguage vele lebifunwa abantu and two uZuma khona umunye ke washo ukuthi na uZuma uke wahlala esihlalweni for 9 years yabo so if kuthiwa bekunezinto ebekufanele ishintshe ngabantu abamnyama noma bekunomhlaba bekumele awubuyise bekumele ngabe kulo 9 years ubuyisile then omunye uye wathi kulo 9 years ilokhuzana iNC inomthetho wawo ehamba ngawo then okwami futhi bengifuna ukucacisa kulokho ukuthi uNC awunawo umthetho wabantu lelizwe leli silibusa ngentando yeningi, silibusa ngentando yabantu. Uhulumeni esinaye uhulumeni wabantu, ezinabo bahlaze besho bethi siuhulumeni wabantu. So akwazi ukuthi mase kufanele nifeze izinto nisemandleni nisesihlalweni bese niqala nithi ena uNC unomthetho wawo, kanti ubani omkhulu NC kanye nabantu nohulumeni wabantu. Bathi lapho ke bengithi ngizama ukuthi ngicacisele khona ilungu elike labhala lokho, so ukuthi na thina siphethe uhulumeni wabantu not uhulumeni kaNC, yabo, ngoba usazivotile nje sazivotela uhulumeni wabantu. So asilindeleke ukuthi mangabe kufanele izinto abantu abamnyama bese kuthiwa hayi uNC unendlela ophethe ngayo izinto. So ilokho ebengithi ngiyacacisa and ngizokwehlela ngezansi ngibonge izipho.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Pumlani.
Okay,
BVK, you can come in.
Ngiyabonga, my sister. A lot of things that I wanted to mention. Lord, speaker started ukuphuma like coverishe everything.
Pumlani, yeah.
Yeah, Pumlani like is an honest everything that I khulumile ukhuluma iqiniso. Like bawungabona ne profile picture yami ngingavakasha enkandla ngibengivakashele yona Zuma before MK. So like lapha ngimkhuluma naye ngimbuza angitshela ukuthi inkinga yala eSouth Africa amaphathi amaningi wabantu abamnyama, we are too divided, and yena akayifuni leyo nto. Looking at these eyes, I believed ukuthi yeah, this guy uyayibona because sinamaphathi amaningi wabantu abamnyama, athi thina siyi majority, but manje simele ukuphasisa something, simele sikhulume nabo DA, we have to negotiate with DA, abelungu ilento abayiplanayo. Only to be surprised yena ayovula enye party yabantu abamnyama. So parties are going to be no Floyd kungenzeka kusasa sivuke bathi uvula iparty. We are being divided more, and the funny part ukuthi thina as youth we asisupport iqiniso, support umuntu. Kunabantu abasupporta uMalema, even if akhuluma umbhedo sometimes bazomsupporta bangakhulumi ukuthi hayi, but la ubhedile umuntu esimfollowayo I wish akalungisa la. Kunabantu abasupporta uZuma, bamsupporta noma abheda bathi is playing chess. Kunabantu abasupporta yena upresident wethu uRamaphosa, bamsupporta noma kubheda. Like for the three leaders abamentionile ngakutshela ukuthi uMalema uyenze lokhu bamsupporta, but bayabona ukuthi ilento ayenzile ubhedile. uZuma bayazi ukuthi uyenzeni, everyone knows, but kunabantu abamana leyo
Okay, wabhedi yazi kamba ningammamelanga Brian uba uthini uBVK. BVK, your closing statement is October ngoku because uthi uMalema uyabheda and kumamelanga andikwazi uba uthini.
No, ngisho ukuthi amaphutha maningi lawo abawayenzile aboMalema na.
Okay, make your closing statement so that I can take you down.
Alright, i-closing yami mangirequesta la ngibone ukhuluma nosisi athi kusase ikusasa laba bazongenzeka uShibambo bamfake ku list. My point ukuthi but mabamehlisa lapha nezi SG, they already mentioned the decision they taken ukuthi uya eParliament. So what is this taking long to make that decision, to make him on the list, because it's already decided? So kuyabonisa ukuthi akaye eParliament.
Thank you so much. Thank you, BVK. Takana, you can come in. Guys, to the moderators and ngicela ningonyusi bantu for now. Takana, come in.
Hello Zizi.
Hey.
Uyazi Zizi ne? Hayi uyandiva, ndiyavakala.
Ndiyakuva bhuti wami, ufuna ndide nokujonga pha emehlweni.
Akhondo. Ndiyayithanda i-attention. Mamela.
Hayi bodu.
Mamela man. Akhondo yandibhinda njengabantu base-South Africa mhla uZuma qala le MK yakhe. And some of them sasimasha sonke simashela lo Zuma. Simazi nge-corruption yakhe. Now same person uqala iMK balandele iMK, and ke ngoba jikela thina EFF, it's fine. Now ke ngoku ndizongena kule nto kaFloyd. uFloyd, I think mna personal eyojoyina iMK babengamthembanga ne. Now bamtrepa ke ngoku for ufumani ba anything eyenzekayo kwifoni yakhe funeke beyazile. Bakhawuleza basebenzise laa thuba lincinci balifumeneyo loba bamyuze ubadraftela i-constitution njalo njalo, because bebengenamntu ubunobanceda kuleya indima ne. Now ngoku bagqibile ngoFloyd, yindlela abamlaxaza ngayo. Some of us we work noFloyd, siyamazi uFloyd unjalo. Hey, that boy sokuba nditshile iyageza, i-arrogant, ine-pride, yeyi. Now ke ngoku bagqibile ngoFloyd, bambonile uba this person esimnida usidraftele i-constitution. Yabona i-constitution ye-political party ibaluleke kakhulu because babengenayo shem. Usidraftele wasenzela yonke le nto. Now yindlela obana ke ngoku simlaxaze ke ngoku le. Ingase bangamsi nasepalamente abeyi-ground force. Ahamba ayosebenza
Hayi,
lowa
into
ubhekile.
abazibhalileyo ngaye apha. I don't think uyaya nakuloo parliament ngendlela endibona ngayo.
Zizi makangayo uFloyd eParliament.
They actually wanted to expel him. They wanted to expel him, by the way. As offensive as Balileyo up next to them. But bana this one cause of dismissal, like imiphumela behavior, you get dismissed. So kulanda bendi I posted a YouTube video. I mean kwingini bibhaliwe bekusithiwa bana bebefuna umdismissa, then uZuma wathi bana makasiwe eParliament. But little njengoba bengakamfaki nje kwilist eseParliament I don't think bazamfaka, bazawuthi kuZuma sebhidwe i-process took long. I don't think bazamfaka too. I don't think so. And la letter that letter was true. You can finish.
Yes. I think bazawudlala ngayo Floyd because kukho nalento yabo yoba ingathi i-ground force zabo zifuna umatsha ntoni ne, and yaziphelela phaa nto yabo. Angabe usistupid because into abanayoyenza bangambuyisela back kubu-SG because uFloyd uyayithanda iposition, uyathanda uhlonitshwa laa bhuti, uyayithanda ipower laa mfana. Bangatsho bathi bambuyisela back kubu-SG. Okay, because no benefuna uthetha loo nto ne.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. La Frank, you can come in.
Molozi.
Hi, volume yako ivakali. It's a little bit low.
To everyone.
Your volume yako is very low.
Right. I got it right.
It's very low. Ungathi speaker sakho sicinezela. Ted.
Yeah, okay. Z, let me start by saying, I've got a good assumptions to say. I think Zuma started MKP to make legacy for Abantwana bakhe because of he saw what happened to him in ANC. So he could not get them to ANC. Then he thought of, because of I know very well that people likes me. Let me rather do something, because what CIC once mentioned already is that Uzuma is not loyal to anyone beside his kids.
Yeah.
He will take you, he will use you and throw you away. Now let's get to the issue of Floyd. Floyd, yes, he saw an opportunity because of, he knows that he's brilliant in terms of politics. Now he saw opportunity to get to MK. And he was given what he wanted. But now here's the problem, because of his arrogancy and his aggressiveness towards people. Now, most of people ended up now rejecting him. But now, should you take him to the parliament, can you see that you are making more damage? Because there will be no one in the MK who's going to have more in the parliament than him at MKP. He was a chief whip of the EFF. He was the lot of committees, so he got a lot of experience in the parliament. So if you take him there, you're gonna make him more arrogant, and now he's gonna start now even pointing out those ones that they think they're incompetent at the parliament. So I think to make the matter very settled is not to let him get to the parliament. If they want to expel him, let them do it now. Yeah, not the biggest mistake he did, which I didn't like. Even today, I'm still saying to myself, he could have done better by leaving the EFF, but him saying that he didn't see the reason to tell the CIC. I mean, who is closer to the CIC beside him, because he was a DP? He could have done that better. So by that again, it now shows you that karma does not miss. And again, when I see my last closing point, I know people are not gonna be happy about this thing. Like they were saying that Dudu Zile is at the forefront of the one person who's against Floyd. Dudu Zile is one person who's close to the CIC. I will leave it there. Dudu Zile is close to the CIC. Dudu Zile doesn't want Floyd. And you see, you saw what Floyd did to CIC. So my closing statement is that I think also somewhere Dudu Zile goes to CIC tell him this is how the member is. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. This is Z.
Thank you
Let
so
other members
much.
talk.
Thank you, LaFranc. Bishop, you can come in.
Sanibonani,
Hi.
ndiyavakala.
Yebo.
Mna ngoyibona kwam le nto, uFloyd was used as a mercenary to attack Julius Malema. And since Zuma is a chess player, he noticed one thing. You noticed one thing about Floyd, that he can be bought. He tested the ground. They tested the ground with VPS, and it worked. And they bought him to come through so that they can destroy Julius Malema. And we saw it again in the issue of Bashiri as well. He was bought. There's something that happened. There's something that happened under the table that made him go there. But in the bigger scheme of things, I think this is a good thing for him, good riddance that they fired him, because I showed interest in MK because he went there, because of his brand and the way that he was propelled and marketed at Parliament. So the good thing that can happen now is the prospects for him and the other guy, the doctor, to open their own political party. I think that can be very, very good for us, and it can create an option, for a breath of new, a fresh. I prefer a breath of fresh air. Yeah, a breath of fresh air. Yeah, a breath of fresh air.
Fresh air.
So yeah, breath of fresh air. So I think now we need intellectuals like that, people who can connect intellectually with other people. Otherwise, MK is gonna die in the next. After Zuma dies, the party is gonna die as well. So that's my take. I think it's a good thing for him to leave there and let the party disintegrate. And I think the future is very bright for him if he can be bold and say that, okay, he's going to be independent. Otherwise, where he is now, he doesn't have any option. They're going to ridicule him, and anything that is forced is not good. So now I think for the best thing that he can do is just to withdraw from everything and be silent for a while, and take the members from MKP and take the members from EFF for 2026. I think that's the best thing for me. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Lerato, I think you can come in, Kengoku, because you wanted to talk about Intoga Tutola.
Yeah, thanks, Izzy. Thanks to everyone that spoke. I just want to say to the person who spoke, South Africans, you like being scammed. You like scam. Imagine someone who was not able to make it in 3 political parties and encouraging them to open another political party. Is scam, guys. We love them. But yeah, in any case, Zizi, I just wanted to check or maybe talk about the Dudula case. I know that it started yesterday. Maya.
Yeah, I can hear you.
understanding of the case, and maybe we'll come in and talk about it.
I think umani uqhawuka ke ngoku. Ndizanifundela guys, sanuwari. I just posted the first page of it on Twitter and on Facebook. You can go have a read. Cala guys, nimamele lerat uyaqhawuka. I don't know bi network yaketheni mani it's torn in Pinivale.
I'm back.
I'm not sure what's happening.
Sorry, I'm back.
Okay.
Now, am I back? Am I audible?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why you delayed kodwa kutheni xa undibuza uba are you audible, it takes time for you uba undive.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you mna kwelami icala.
Okay. Can everyone hear me? I don't know if people, maybe fighters, if you can comment, if you can hear me properly as well.
Uthetha nathi ngoku? Awuvakali ngoku?
Yes.
Are you addressing us?
Yes, Zizi.
You are back now.
Okay.
Yeah, now we can hear you.
So I wanted to address it, Zizi, because a lot of these people, they come on our lives every day and they tell us about Malema open border policy, and Malema said find creative ways. But I didn't see none of them going to the court case yesterday, which was very funny because they spent most of their time on their lives every day talking about CIC and how he's going to open borders, but none of them went to support their own movement. So I think it's a bit funny. But basically, my understanding is that there are applicants. The applicants that applied for this court case, it actually was applied a few years ago from what I'm getting. There is abahlali basemjondolo, there's Kopanang Africa Against Xenophobia. There is the South African Informal Traders Forum. And then the respondents to the case is obviously Operation Dudula. Apparently, the other one is Nhlanhla Lux and Solomon Kekana, who's the current treasurer and representative of Operation Dudula. And today they were asking for postponement, but the court refused for them to postpone and told them that, no, this case has been going on and we are going to proceed. Yesterday, when I watched some of the proceedings, some of the legal representatives there, it included obviously the legal representatives of those applicants, and including ICJ. There was a lady from ICJ. She was laying down the law around ICJ, which was very interesting to see her, make those submissions. But basically, some of the things that they talked about is the harassment and intimidation of foreign nationals, including not only on the ground, but on social media. So they've been monitoring these social media platforms for years, and they've collected evidence of people mobilizing on social media to go and fight foreign nationals. There is they also spoke about a case where a South African child was harassed and bullied and traumatized because someone thought they were a foreign national, and unfortunately that child was a South African. So they spoke about that. They spoke about the uniform that they wear, that uniform, they must stop wearing that uniform because it is very close to the South African Defence Force uniform. And obviously we have government entities that are part of the respondents. So they've accused SAPS and the Minister of Home Affairs of encouraging this Operation Dudula and not allowing them to harass people and intimidate people. And also, I think the Gauteng Provincial Health Department as well is also a respondent as well, because they've been harassing people in clinics. Remember that we've seen videos of that. And the court proceedings are happening right now. We will see, there's a lot of sections, laws that are being quoted in the proceedings, and we are going to see the evidence being presented in court And I hear someone saying that the Operation Dudula didn't even have a lawyer there. So we will see. So that's what I wanted to share, just for an interest sake, because every day, Zizi, they come here and they tell us that Malema is the one who is protecting these foreigners and telling foreigners they must find creative ways, but they are not even supporting their own movement. I listened yesterday for a few minutes though. They were hosting that lady called Victoria Africa, I think from PA, and in one of their lives, and they were asking for transport money for people to donate, for them to go and support that whole case, because she even admitted to them that she did not even know that there was that court case going on. So I just wanted to share what I know about it. We will hear other people's thoughts. Thanks, Zizi.
Okay. Mina, the only part that I also heard is that apparently there was a person from Lesotho whom from when? Not from Lesotho, from Limpopo, sorry. There was someone from Limpopo whom they asked, Guti, is that person from South Africa? And then when they said yes, they said they must speak Zulu. And that person said, but I can't speak Mosimina because I'm from Limpopo. And so, yeah, but mababanjwe wong, makubanjwe naba lapha ku TikTok wethu. Guys, is there anybody who wants to add Glendi Chedongulerad? So that is ending. I need Kauli. Oh, Mandi, let me accept Nina Banduba request delay, okay? Then when we are done, yes, I do. Okay, fine. Is a Paramisa Apostle. Then when we are done, I'm gonna take you guys. Then is mute, guys. Ayiko into endiphambanisa njengabantu bathi box bafika umntwana into engcolayo sikhumbuze ngakufaka nakuzingonyisi because kudala siza kule live kodwa you do the same thing over and over. Guys, most people that are in this live, we come here every single day, and every day it's the same story. Come, especially if you've got a noisy background. Mnezami TV ndizicimile apha endlini for uba ndiyenzele live. So wena uza kwi-live udlala into zakho for uba ze kuthini. Come on, guys. Every day we are here. Sithetha into eyi-one every single day. So please, andiziphinda ndikunyuse wena sikhumbuze ungaphinde request, because you've requested twice today. Ndikuzise twice, but you are still doing the same thing. I don't know what you want me to do. Guys, you can come in and contribute from Ulerado's submission.
As the members of Uzizipo's Live, which is very progressive, we are not affiliated with Dudula in any way or like in any shape or form. There was a guy who came here who said, oh no, it was not on this live. We were on this other live, and the guy said, yeah, people who are representing foreigners, we stay with them in the community, we stay with them in the villages. Guys, it is immoral to take the law unto your hands and chase people who are undocumented or documented in the country. It is the duty of the police and the Department of Home Affairs to take them out. You touching them, you are calling trouble upon yourself. Guys, us as members of the EFF, we are not affiliated with those nonsense. Thank you. That's all I wanted to say, Zizi.
Sorry, Zizi, I just forgot to say something as well. One of the submissions that was made was about in 2017 and 2018. The government responded to, I can't remember, it's something called NAP, but it's rules that we have agreed to internationally. And it was about what is the government doing to solve the xenophobic attacks in South Africa. And I just want to highlight that because who was the president during that time who signed those commitments and saying that they're going to reduce the issues of xenophobia in South Africa. So I just want to highlight that. Thank you.
Thank you, Lerato. Lexi. Oh, okay, Apostle, come in. Oh, okay, Lexi, come in, and then Apostle. Come in, Lexi.
Sorry, man. I think I requested earlier on when we were talking about MK, but on this one, I think I'll let it pass. I'll just listen. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna drop you now. Don't worry, I'll come back to that topic. I just wanted to exhaust it. I'll bring you back later on. Apostle, you said you wanted to contribute. I saw your comments on the comment section. Please contribute. Okay, you must be because we mute Lengena trigger. Oh, Mary Pat. It's complicated. Mary Pat. Gena trigger. I don't know what happened with Apostle Kengo because she wanted to contribute. I'll be back. Okay. Trika, please come in. Pumlani, please come in. You guys can come in. Ebetunan. Hey, I can go. Trika teta. Suvezi video. Unmute mic yaku tete.
Okay.
October can go about it.
I'm there.
Please contribute.
Okay, I just want to put I'm original from Malawi, but I do follow your topic each and every time, and I'm staying here in Cape Town. So the thing that I like here in South Africa is the thing that there's some illegal foreigners that are here in South Africa that stays here, but the problem that I see is most of the time, the African countries, they are contributing in the other African leaders to rule forever. That makes most of the people to learn where the opportunity is, like to come here over in South Africa. So if our leaders can stop contributing in bad leaders that they are ruling Africas, I hope we're going to stay in our country and do some things in our country. But the problem that most of the time that we have in Africa is that the thing that's only that makes some people to move in Africa, to move much in South Africa. So it's that we beg sometimes the leaders that they're ruling like the African countries not to compete in bad on those bad president, so that we can have the change. For instance, I can speak to my own, like Malawi. We have a leader that is going like the one that is ruling now. He doesn't do anything for the people of Malawi. That makes some of Malawians also to come here. So if like African, we can work together as those kind of leaders, like not to rule us, like to give to young African leaders to rule us. That only thing can make African to work than everyone to come here in South Africa. Like when you are staying here, sometimes also when you're staying here, you're not feeling safe and all these things that are happening. For example, another example that I'm an Uber driver, I'm driving Uber in Cape Town. But there's so many white people that they're staying here in South Africa legal like some African countries. Why our brothers and sisters also in South Africa, they don't see that thing. So they think that only black, that they come from other countries, they are the foreigners. And also that thing that I'm not in like defending the people that they are coming from other countries, they're doing bad things. I don't support that. If you're illegal, maybe you're catching by home affairs, then they take you back home. Maybe it's part of the laws. But the law, you must leave the laws to make the law, like police to work as a police. So if you go like door by door, but what the Duduras doing, if you go by door chasing up foreigners, it's like police that are not doing anything, showing that the police that are not doing anything. You can't take the law into your hand. Other than that, you leave the foreigner, you leave the police or whoever is responsibility to done with the foreigners. It can be good. That's only the option that I have. Thank you.
Okay, Lulu, is there Lerato, is there anything you want to say? Okay, it's fine. Apostle Evidence, come in. I'm not sure about OPU Landers. Lady J, are you back? Okay, you can come in, Apostle. Lerato, are you still here?
Nah, it seems like maybe Sheshe might be busy.
Okay, Apostle, come.
Okay. Let me comment based on Operation Dudula. You see the problem that people don't understand, especially in this country, is that we have what we call a constitution. We have the rules and the regulations that have to be followed in each and everything that we want to implement. You see, the problem of Operation Dudula is just that when you look at the mandate and the vision of the operation on its own, already the operation, it is against the rules and the regulations of the country. So number one, you cannot just say we just want to take out foreigners out of the country. We have what we call a petition in these countries, that when you want to implement something, you have to write a petition to a certain department that is relevant for what you want to present as an idea or as a petition. And at that particular department, it is the one that must give you a feedback based on whatever that you are presenting unto them. So at the end of the day, Operation Dudula, even if there were people who saw something that was negative based on undocumented foreigners, the approach was wrong, and the law must take its place concerning such kind of a movement. Because at the end of the day, that if such kind of an operation continues to do what they've been doing and the law does not take its course on them, at the end of the day, it will mean that our justice system, it is failing us. So that Operation Dudula on its own, it was out of order because it was very unconstitutional. So anything that it is not supported by the constitution, it is a very dangerous move to embark on it, because at the end of the day, the results are very bitter than vinegar itself. So those who started that movement, they will have to pay the price, because if anything, it is against the constitution. It means that the law must take its course, and there must be a punishment that it is a fit, or that it has been drafted concerning such an act, that it must be implemented. So the operation on its own, let the law take its course, because at the end of the day, yes, we have many things that I can even point out. I live in Boksburg. I can tell you of a lot of things I've witnessed. In May, the killings of more than 10 people are just around the area because of drugs, and I've seen many foreign nationals who were the ones responsible for the shootings and the killings of the people. Yes, the law must take its course. But let me tell you something. If we want to solve this thing of illegal foreigners and some of the crimes that are being done by these foreign nationals, is the system that has to be changed. Because I'm telling you that now, that as long as we have this current government in power, let me tell you something. Most of the complaints that we are going to write or to raise unto them, they are not going to be attended, because the system, it allows them to move the way they are moving now. The system of South Africa on its own, it is a corrupt system. So if the system, it is not changed, whatever that we are busy shouting, we need this, we need that, if we do not vote for the government that is ready to change the government system of our country, if that system, it is not changed, I'm telling you, even today, we are not even going to see any kind of an improvement or any development on anything. It's whether on justice system, or it's either educationally or anything. That is why you see operations like this Dudula thing that is happening. It is because they've understood that our government is unruly. So since we are under an unruly government, they've decided to do what they have done. Unfortunately, the unruly government showed them another side that they've never thought that they are going to see. But at the end of the day, such kind of an operations should not be encouraged. They let the law be implemented. Let's use things according to the law. Let's abide by the law, even if the foreign nationals should be taken out of the country, if they have to be removed, if they have to be deported, let it be done according to the law.
Yeah, my brother, Ish, I came on to try to address what you are saying.
Yes.
Yes, I agree, Guti, but now we cannot say let the law, we see the law is failing us. Personally, I do not agree with this Dudula thing. I think you cannot just say all foreigners use one method for all of them. No, it's wrong. Yes, foreigners as our peoples, our African brothers, they come and work here because, yes, there's opportunity here. Fine, we understand that. What we don't like in this country, and this is what causes the friction between us, is that we all know there's foreigners that are doing illegal things. We're talking about drugs. We're talking about selling our kids poison. There's a lot going on. Yeah, well, and at the same time, there's this thing of a lot of foreigners, they come here and they don't pay taxes. They don't, yeah, well, they get paid underground, meaning there's no benefit to our economy, which is unfair. We, the ones who, as a South African, I'm working, I'm getting taxed here and there, income tax and all of that. You as a foreigner, if you don't pay that income tax, it means there's less money to give to what? To free hospitals, free educations and things like that. It's a burden of the South African, but the foreigner can come here, work, but there's no benefit to us. At the same time, it comes with the rara of the violence of the what's happening with the drugs and the other things. What I am saying is this Dudula thing, at least let it be fair. Not all foreigners are bad. No, attack the ones that you all know are unruly. The ones that are when you have this thing of they take over thing. What do they take over? That more rental a job baby Zanle. That thing, yes, they take over
buildings.
Yeah.
Buildings. There are certain hijacked buildings.
Yeah, they hijack buildings and all of that. We know there's those type of problems. At least let this Tutula things attack that situation, that system. And go okay, sharp. Let's do away with this and that. And those foreigners are here. Find a way to be legal, man. It can't be that difficult to be legal and pay income tax like everyone. It's not like we don't want them here. It's just that we don't want the unfairness that comes with it. You understand?
Okay. No, I hear you, my brother. That is why I spoke about the system of system of the government. No? You see. You remember there was a time when Herman Mashaba was the mayor of the city of Joburg. You remember, right? Herman Mashaba, on his own, he was implementing some of the things that are our current complaints right now. He removed a lot of people who hijacked buildings. There were buildings that were even demolished in Johannesburg. The man, during his time when he was a mayor of the city of Johannesburg, there was a lot of things that he was restoring back into order. That is what I'm saying is that the system of government that we have now, we are having people that, my brother, they are making it hard for us even when we want to bring order within our own even country. As I said, that not each and every foreigner who is here who is doing bad. There are those who are coming here doing innocent jobs. So the system of government, my brother, if you can check, go and check even in the townships we have spaza shops that are registered with the names of our citizens. But the people who are operating inside those spaza shops are not, it's not the one who registered the business. Which at the end of the day, it's like we are chasing a shadow. The person that we are trying to chase that, okay, move your shop out of this place. You find out that the very same business that you are trying to move it out of a place. The one who is the owner of the yard holding the title deed is the one who is the owner of the spaza shop, but the spaza shop is not being operated by the very same person. So if the system of government can change, there are a lot of things that my brother that we are talking about now that can change, because our government does not do follow-up. If you can check, our system of government does not do follow-up. So if our government was to do follow-up on certain procedures, we would not be facing the things that we are facing right now. You get what I'm saying? If there was a follow-up on each and every procedure, I'm telling you, even the undocumented foreigners in this country, whether they are committing crime or not committing crime, as long as the person is not undocumented, we will be having a few of them. Because if there was a follow-up, no one will be comfortable not having the necessary documents to be in this country. You understand? That is even the thing of hijacked buildings. If you can go to, there's a place in Johannesburg called Enkomen, where there are taxis to Ladysmith. There are shacks inside a flat, inside maybe a 20-story building. You see a shack inside a building, but the law enforcers are passing by the very same building almost every day. So as I'm saying to you that the system of government that we have, it is failing us because they don't do follow-ups. If they were to do follow-ups, I'm telling you, Johannesburg was supposed to be one of the most safest and the cleanest place that we have in South Africa right now. So the system of government that we are having is the one that is failing us. That is why even you see, even sometimes when you report things on certain police stations, they will even tell you, even if we can go and try to drive out these people, my brother, they will come back because the people who are backing them up are higher than us when it comes to authority. So the system of government is the one that is allowing these things that you see now happening. Are you hearing me? So the system on its own is the one that is failing us. Actually, what we need, it is a new system of government.
But now, can you answer this? Because I agree, it's the government's fault, and there are higher ups that are taking bribes from these individuals. But now, what must the people do? Because the people feel powerless. What should the people do? What is the solution?
The solution. Come in. Okay, let me just answer, and then you will answer, my brother.
Thank you.
Okay. The solution, it is easier. Okay, you see now, the government, it comes with political parties now. Let's not make this a thing about politics. Let's look about which organization has a mandate that comes to cater the needs of the South Africans. You understand? Because you must understand that politics are the ones that have contributed unto this. But because the kind of the formation of governance, it came through the form of politics and political parties. We must go for an organization that comes with a system that comes to cater the needs, that comes to bring South Africa into an advantage of law enforcing, in the advantage of bringing development, in the advantage of making sure that the very same South Africa that people in 1972, independent, the country wanted to see, or that we are fighting out what is failing us now, and bring in something that we see that this organization, it is putting the needs of the people first. Because this thing of Congress, it is what is failing us. What we need, it is a clear mandate that put the needs of the country, us as the citizens first, nothing else. Let's vote out the government that is failing us now, nothing else that we need to do.
Yeah, maybe just to enter, right? There's things that
Okay.
can be solved at a systematic, which is the government that takes long, and there's things that unfortunately the people have to do. Apostle, I just want to, and I get what you are saying, which is right to say the system is failing the people, and that's right. And I'm talking as someone that owns a property where
Yeah. Oh, you muted yourself?
sorry, I don't know what happened there. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
I don't
can
know.
hear you now.
Up until one part, I was saying I'm talking as someone that owns a property where the foreigners come in via our sisters. These people comes in with a hobby, and you don't know the person, only to discover later that the person that comes in is our fellow African brother, and they are doing their funny dodgy business when they are already in your property. Once they are in, they know the laws of this country more than you. They don't want to pay rent, they do whatever, and they say, you know what, actually, go to the law, go to the system, and they know they have 6 months for eviction, and in fact, it's going to cost you more to actually get them out of there. So,
Exactly.
why? They know the law, so they are abusing the very same law that are supposed to be protecting us. When you go to the police and say, I've got someone in my property, doesn't want to pay, if anything, is actually doing funny business, damaging the property, the police can't do anything. They actually tell you straight to go to the court's eviction order, and you're looking at another 50,000 to get the people out there. Why am I mentioning the property thing? I'm saying this thing because it's the same thing where in our communities now, if you go to Alexander, if you go to Cosmo City, Soweto, you find people that they just came in illegally. Then they make it your problem. They are now raping, they are now causing, running illegal business. I mean, now if you walk in Santin or any of the Randburg, and I'm talking Joburg now, you see people beggars. It's almost like we've imported poverty from Zimbabwe in this country. And you cannot do anything because they are already here. So the question is, what needs to be done? That is wrong. And I do think they need to be, even the undocumented foreigners that come in with their kids here and they are begging in our robots, they need to be held accountable for that. And unfortunately, the people that are suffering, to resolve that problem, I ended up having to go outside of the system because they put the onus of the law on you. Unfortunately, the best way to solve it is actually to go and get the guys from the street and say, come in, sit with this person, sleep with them, make it uncomfortable for them, and do whatever to get them out. And that usually happens. And that's unfortunately what the doulas are now end up coming into the system to come and try and get rid of these people because they are suffering, guys. If you go and see what is happening to our people, and they are fighting for the crumbs. Unfortunately, a situation of this method, there's always going to be two-pronged solution. One is people that are suffering day to day, they're going to have to find means to solve it for themselves, while we are still fighting for the bigger one of changing rules and laws around that. Go to the US, you'll never do what the foreigners are doing in the country. Go to the UK, what foreigners are doing in this country, you will never see it. And because it's unacceptable and it's unfair to the poor of this country. I just wanted to put that point to say, the one that you are saying, yes, we need to change laws, that's a long term, but people are suffering today. There's someone that is stealing today. There's someone that is raping today. There's someone that is just has no means, have to steal to survive because this person has walked inside Kruger National Park in the midst of lions, in the oceans. The person died before they come here. So the conscience is gone completely. So we just also need to be aware of that to say it's too prompt. It's not as easy as we make it to be. I just wanted to make that point.
All right. Let me open your eyes on something. No? You see, changing the constitution or changing the system of government is not something that is gonna take long. Let me show you an example with Eastern Cape. The people of Eastern Cape, especially on the last election, they voted for ANC with the highest number of the majority. That one, it is showing us that we still have a lot of people who are trying to shy away from the truth that the only way to do is to vote out the current government. Because number one, let me show you something. Let me put it in a way of, if I was to be a president of this country. You know, there are certain laws that must be put strictly when somebody has to come and cross the border and come to South Africa. Number one, somebody who is coming from their own country has never even went to grade 12. There is nothing that the person is coming to offer us in this country. We give the person a passport to come. The person has nothing to offer to us. We are the one who have to offer that person something. Number one, that person is not even somebody who was supposed to be even crossing the border and come to our country. Because the very same jobs, the very same hustle that was supposed to be occupied by people who are uneducated here in our own country, those kind of hustles were supposed to be strictly for the South African residents. Because now, for an example, my brother, somebody cannot come from where he's coming to come and make dreadlocks. Where else we have our own people that are doing that. Somebody cannot come from wherever they are coming from just to come and say that they want to build the RDPs. We have people who are doing that. Somebody cannot come from where they are coming from to come and sell Archer, where else Archer is our own product. So if we were to have strict policy based on what is required for a person to cross the border and come into our country, there were supposed to be strict rules. That is why there are certain countries that even if you can apply for a visa and tell them that I'm coming to a country to preach, they will tell you that we have pastors in this country. So if our country was to understand that we cannot be welcoming somebody who has to come to our country and become our burden. If they were to understand that, we will not be having the problem that we are having right now. You understand? So if we were to have strict policies based on immigration policies, if we were not supposed to be having the things that we are having now, there are countries that I'm telling you, my brother, you cannot apply a visa and tell them that I'm coming to your country to fix phones. You understand? So it's one of the things that if we have to put strong policies around that area, we will not be having the problems that we are having now. So anyway, that is all that I wanted to say, that the system, let it respond in the right way. But if it is not responding, let us vote it out.
Can we give NLO, because he's been waiting and there's a few people that want to also talk. Can we give NLO, please?
Hi guys. Now I can hear my brothers are talking about the system, right? Okay. I just wanted to ask brothers that what kind of system can we apply, right? Because we can say that we have to change the rules and stuff. But the question, when we change, we are going to apply which rules, right? I don't think it's very simple to say that, okay, we can change everything and say, when you enter South Africa, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But these people, most of them, they don't use the gate. I'm sure we're all aware of that, right? So I think we just have to strengthen the policing, right? The justice system, so that it can be able to deal with this issue. Because the rest of saying that we can change, right? So the best way is to do it. Let's just try to strengthen the policing system there. That's all. Thank you.
Yeah, but
No, Solomon, can we give Napoleon? You guys have been talking now. Can you just give the new speakers? Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. You know, the issue of foreigners, the way I see us looking at this thing, I feel sad. You know, one thing I can tell you here, why I'm saying what I'm saying. One thing I can tell you, most of us here who are on this life, and I'm talking this from experience. If you are living in a suburb and you are to find someone to clean your yard, there is no South African who will come and clean your yard. You get someone from outside.
Papa
You see?
Napoleon, can
Because those are the jobs that we don't believe that it's a job that you would really do unless you are that desperate to survive, of which this country. Those people who are controlling the economy, they are making us black South African fight for these enslaving jobs with our African brothers and sisters that we call foreigners in this country. So for me, I'm saying it from that point because if in this country we were most of black South Africans were actually participating in the means of production and the economy empowerment. This issue of foreigners wouldn't even be a problem. I will give you another example. In our townships, we have these Somalian stores that we complain about, that they are selling food that are killing our children, of which it's the point. But the question I always ask is, were these people imposed on us, or these people came to us in locations and asked to rent our places? They came to us and we rent them our places. They came and asked us to rent our places. We gave our places to them to rent. And how? They come here and say, can I rent the corner of your house and I will build a store there and I will give you 6,000 per month. That time you are not working and there is not even a job. You can't even have any training centers or any skill development institutes here that are meant to develop or to upskill black people in townships. You don't even have those things, and government says it gives you 350 per month. Now this guy comes and say, I will give you 6,000 per month. Let me build a store here at the corner of your yard. What makes you accept that money is the situation you find yourself in, because you have no choice there but to take whatever that comes in, that you see it will make you survive. So now at the end we get out of our houses and go on the street and say, yeah, government must help us get rid of these people. They are killing our children. But in fact, what makes them do this is the fact that we are being subjected to this poverty through the deprivation of our own land and our own economy, that we cannot participate in it. So what I'm just saying is that the issue of foreigners that we have in this country is because of our governments. That I'm talking of all these African countries that we that got this thing of democracy or independency from 1966 from these colonizers. But when you look at it, actually we were never let free, but we were just colonized in another form of modern way. But these people are still controlling our minerals, our land, our economy, everything. And then we have to run around just to survive. And some of us, we are just lucky to be born in South Africa, whereby life, you will find that it's better than in Zimbabwe or somewhere else. But we are not different from them in terms of deprivations of our own economy and means of production in terms of participation in there. So this thing of creating hatred amongst ourselves, guys, by seeing each other as different, just because somebody comes from a geographical area that is different from yours, it's a problem for us. And the other issue that is creating this thing in our country, it is the laws that are not. There is nothing wrong with people coming into this country, but the problem is the laws. And if we say, let us, because I mean, our own people who are running the country are corrupt, are stealing from us. How do we expect those guys to protect this country, to put securities around the borders of this country, while themselves are stealing the same man that was supposed to go there? They are corrupt themselves. And to maintain those borders again is too expensive. Now we have to spend money saying securing borders instead of spending money developing the lives of South Africans. That is my 2 cents.
Okay, I'll answer him quickly while the next one is getting ready.
Well, I'm gonna speak. It's fine. I thought maybe like Zippo will say it's your turn, Pelisha.
Oh,
But I saw her there by Babcomu's life. Anyway, I agree with Napoleon. Napoleon, like you've said a mouthful. You know, many people who complain about this illegal or this immigration issue, rather, we are facing here in South Africa, must actually go and revisit Mbuyiseni Ndlozi's video explaining the issues of illegal immigrants, or rather, the immigration issue in South Africa. And one of the things that Mbuyiseni explains, and Mafia Fani as well, is the fact that, for example, right, in the hood, Ekasi, if there's that one house where they are thriving and they have money, you know, and they are around the area where there's poverty is very rife, eventually the people around that hood will start stealing from the people who have money. And same thing with the issue of legal immigration. For as long as South Africa is doing better than their neighboring countries, that unfortunately will actually pull people from these neighboring countries where they're suffering to come to South Africa, because then they see it as a place whereby they can try, you know, to rebuild their lives or make something out of their lives. Also, the reason why also we cannot deal with this crisis is we as Black South Africans, we are not honest. we are not honest at all. We complain about these people and say, why are they here? They're ruining their country. They're killing our kids with expired food. But if you go and see where these people are hiring backyards to actually put their spaza shops, it's mainly in the hood where Black South Africans mainly live. And then you guys open up your yards for them because, of course, they bring rent and then you're trying to make a living out of it. But then you come back and complain about the very same immigration issues. So then we are the ones creating the demand for these people. Because if they don't just rent out of nowhere, they rent in our backyards. Another issue that Napoleon said, the owners of the means of production, mainly white people. These are the people actually who hire these people. And then we as Black people, we don't go at them. We actually go at rather Julius, because of course, whatever goes wrong in this country, it's always Julius Malema's fault. We don't really go at the companies which are hiring these people in their numbers. We would rather fight with these foreigners. But they don't come here because they just come here for the sake of coming here. They come here because there's a demand for them. And this demand is created by the owners of the means of production. Even with Zama issues, these people don't just mine this gold or illegal mine this gold and then just, sell it to your normal Mpo or Tabiso in Soweto. There are white people who actually are behind these Zama miners. So until we tackle the issues behind this immigration crisis, we will never win. We'll build gates, we'll build walls in the borders. We will never win for as long as South Africa is doing good inside alone, and we don't really tackle the people who actually are the reason why these people come here in their numbers. And also, the very same Black people who complain about these people, they are the ones who hijack cars and go and sell the very same cars in CBD scrapyards where they are owned by Nigerians and so forth. And so we actually aid this crisis until we actually remove ourselves from these problems. It will never stop. It will never stop. It will be a continuous issue. Thank you.
Z, can I just, someone asked, I think they joined late, one of the fighters, they just want to know what we're discussing. So, Toro B, we have been discussing the case that is currently started at yesterday about that has been taken, Operation Dudula has been taken to court by some civil society organizations. And they are putting a lot of information in that court case, including some of the things that they talk about on social media, how social media has been used by Operation Dudula to target foreign nationals, how they're using a uniform that is similar to South African Defence Force, and they have witnesses that they're also going to be bringing up as well. In terms of for that court case, and the applicants are people like Abahlali Basim's Jondolo, etc. as well, who brought that case against Operation Dudula. So they in effect want Operation Dudula to stop what they are doing on the ground, intimidating and harassing people who they deem as foreign nationals, and that they should not take the matter of into their hands, like the law into their hands. So that's what we are talking about. Thank you. Going on with this, Malema is now, I apologize. What's going on?
Can I just add on what I don't know, it's Pelish just said there, Osilerato. Someone was asking means of production, producing what, and those questions. In this country we've got minerals. I will tell you of one of the companies that we all know it. we have Sasol in this country. Sasol is a company that produces petrol, fuels actually, and other byproducts. Yeah? And Sasol, if you look at how Sasol, how does the factory start? This whole thing starts from coal. That is one of the minerals we have, coal. And I can tell they are using the poorest quality of coal. The quality of coal, they are actually exporting it overseas. They are using the poorest quality to produce this, to use it. They mine this coal, take it to the Sasol mines that are mining coal, and take it to Sasol factory, whereby they're going to gasify the coal and turn it into and get that trap that gas, synthetic gas, turn it into liquid Sasol light oil, synthol light oil, and turn that light oil into fuel that we use in our cars. And if you can look at the employment that through that coal that Sasol employed South Africans, it's huge number. And you check the tax those people are paying to the government. You check the tax that Sasol as company that is paying to the government. You look at the areas around Sasol mines and factories and all that are surviving. You'll be shocked. And now you can just imagine if we were doing the same thing with the platinum. We're doing the same thing with uranium. We're doing the same thing with chrome that we are mining here, and then take it outside. That's wrong. As going to create jobs in those European countries. And then we don't see anything wrong with that. That when we see that train that is taking this coal to Mossel Bay, to Richards Bay, those are the jobs that are being taken out of this country to European countries to develop those countries. Now, if we would industrialize all these minerals and refine these minerals in our country, how many South Africans would be employed and would not be falling into these traps of people coming from outside, coming in here and saying, let me hire the corner of your yard and give you 2,000 or 6,000. How many people would actually escape from such things if we were owning our minerals and mining them and refining them in our own country? It's just one example I'm just telling you. The same thing that is happening here. It's the same thing that is happening in DRC. This Elon Musk, he is the richest man in the world through the exploitation that is so evil that is happening in DRC because of that cobalt mineral, whereby it's artisanal, illegal artisanal mining of cobalt mineral that goes to big markets in America and these other countries to do the cell phones we are using, to do the batteries we are using for solar panels and these electric cars. That thing is being mined here because we cannot run our own things. The other thing, I just said it, we don't have a skilled academic institutes in our townships here, whereby government is building those institute to upskill people so that people can be creative in terms of making living for themselves and creating jobs for themselves. Our people are unskilled. They are unemployed and are unskilled. And that is the problem. Now, a South African has to fight for cleaning a guard or a garden with someone we calling a foreigner. And we're saying that's what we should stand for. When you look at, I normally talk about these Middle East countries like Qatar and UAE. I have a lot of guys that I know who moved from here and go and work there. A lot of them. When you get there, 90% of the workforce in those countries, Qatar, is foreigners. There is no problem with that. 90% of workforce there for those companies is foreigners, are people who are coming from outside. Qatar people are doing government jobs that are in these other companies. It's management jobs. These jobs that they don't do other jobs that they believe are not meant for their people, and they use the minerals they have for the benefit of their people, and they've got strong laws that are governing their people. Those are the things that we should look at. In Germany, I had colleagues who went in Germany. They tell you jobs like driving bus are not reserved for German people. German government is taking care of its people. They know those jobs are for certain people who would come there desperate to survive, looking for refugee or whatever you may call it. Because the government is actually looking after their people, of which is a different story now. Now here in our country, here our government are people who are actually stealing from us. And instead of fighting them, we want to fight people who are coming, people who is coming from Zimbabwe, who is selling tomatoes on the street there. We must go and fight those people. For me, that is really out of mind.
Napoleon, you're on fire. You are really, really on fire. And I would like to add on that as well, that the workforce, actually,
we are looking far. If you look here right across our border in Botswana, Botswana's core resource is diamond, and they managed to create Botswana, which was a joint venture with DPS.
So we can a bit add something. So Napoleon, as I was saying, the points you're making, man, they're on fire. Also, one of the issues that we have in this country is this civil society nonsense, and the leaders that are always screaming that abahambe, using genuine South African concerns to try and accelerate their political careers. One of the reasons why we would never win this war against immigration crisis is the type of leaders we give the baton or the mandate to fight these type of battles. In South Africa, we don't have honest leaders. We don't have honest leaders. We hate leaders who are honest and who are open. This is one of the reasons why Julius Malema is the most hated man, because the guy is honest. He does not sell you dreams and says, tomorrow morning I'm going to wake up and transport all of these illegal immigrants and then boom, they're going to go back home. And I remember he raised this important issue that Home Affairs is paying, I think, millions to transport these people back to their countries. The following day, they are back inside this country. I work in court. We deal with this illegal immigrant issues. They arrest them, and guess what? The very same Home Affairs official, they are bribed, and these people are released back into society. So we want leaders who are going to come here and lie to us and politic us and use slogans and act like they are doing something when they're doing nothing. For example, Gaten McKenzie, abahambe. They use our genuine struggles to actually find their spot in parliament, or I don't know, but where there's money, so they can chow. However, they don't really mean these things that they say to us. They don't really mean them, because nobody really has a solid plan as to how they will deal with immigration issues. And the only party that I believe has a plan is the EFF, because what they are saying actually does make sense. Until Zimbabwe thrives, until Zambia thrives, unfortunately, South Africa will be the the land of milk and honey for these people. So until Zimbabwe thrives, these people are going to keep on coming here until we do not participate in illegal activities which actually create a demand for these people. They will not stop coming here. We know the guys in the hood who steal cars. We know the guys in the hood who sell the very same cars to these scrap yards. We know these people. However, we worship the very same people. So this is a whole a food chain, and we feed into it. So also, we as South Africans, we need to start taking a look at ourselves. That do we really have a problem with immigration, or it's just that we are not eating with them? So there's no that you can actually complain about these kids eating these rotten chips, and then the following day you go loot the very same shops which sell these rotten things. There is no way that you have an issue with these people who come here and take your jobs, but then when you go to most estates in South Africa, you hire these people because they actually offer cheap labor. They will clean the entire house for 150 as compared to a South African lady who will charge you 1.5. So we equally play a role in this crisis, and we cannot blame only our government. We need to, as the people, take also responsibility that we also have an equal role to play, because we give leaders who literally are here to feed their stomachs the mandate to deal with really important issues. For example, the system says that when you're a prisoner, you cannot get a job, like it blacklists you because, hey man, you are problematic. But then you have a whole criminal, a thug, as a minister of sports and arts and culture. And these are actually recreational activities. A whole Gaten McKenzie, simply because he used a pressing issue like the immigration issue to actually land himself the job. And we know deep down that this guy has no plan. They just perform, because South Africans, we actually follow people who perform, and leaders who actually have a plan, a long-term plan. We hate them, we insult them, because they love Zimbabweans more than they love South Africans. So we equally have to literally take ownership that we are also a huge contributing factor to the immigration crisis in South Africa. I, for one, I am part of that too, because if you go, for example, to Take a Lot, right? Take a Lot, this spike business has a lot of money. Like, it has money for days. But the people who are dominating there are illegal foreigners. They buy fake licenses and they dominate. Because of we allow that. Instead of us fighting the owners of Take a Lot, we will fight Julius Malema. You will go and ban the guy who's earning 3.5 per week. If we are to win this war, we must take this war to the right people. First, the government. Number two, the owners of the means of production. And who are those people? the white people who own companies that hire these people, your KFCs, your Spur, your Tashas. Then we come back to our homes. We as South Africans, will you take the job of cleaning that house? Won't you feel like, nah, I am too good to be somebody else's helper? Won't you feel like I am too good to drive a bike? And then we need to ask ourselves that, are we ready then to take up these jobs? Because it's one thing wanting a job on social media and say they're taking their jobs. But then it's another thing when you have the job, you're like, I will never be a cleaner. I will never be a cashier. I will never be a waitress. So we need to also take a look at ourselves, the people we put in parliament to fight for such genuine causes, because yes, the immigration issue is a crisis. It definitely is a crisis. However, we also have a role to play in it, and we need to stop blaming Julius, because it's so easy to blame him, and take responsibility, because we hire them, we open our yards to them, we sell the stolen cars to them, we exploit their cheap labor. So we equally need to take responsibility. The change starts with us as Black people. Thank you.
Ish, can I answer you quickly before somebody else gets in?
So sorry guys, can I just answer something or just add something on what Pelisha said? Gayton Mackenzie is not even a friend of the court to support Dudula. I just want to put that out there. He did not even make any application as the friend of the court for the Dudula as the respondents. Thank you.
Okay. Firstly, Napol, yeah, you should have ended it with, this is the EFF manifesto. Everything you are saying, it's in the EFF manifesto. Very beautiful. But I'd like to play devil's advocate first, Daniel. Yes, as a South African, we have a blame, but it's the same as the 2,000 or 6,000 you give to a South African, you open a spaza shop, or it's not the job of the South African to make sure that this person is documented, to make sure this person is not breaking rules. It's the job of the government. So now, this thing you have to do, it's people taking matters into their own hands. So the argument was, is this right or is it wrong?
Sorry to disrupt you. Can I ask you a question?
Okay.
The people who work in Home Affairs, is it the government or is it me and you?
It's me and you.
Exactly. So if me and you work at Home Affairs, and then a Zimbabwean who is here illegally gives me 10K and says to me, please give me that ID, that fake ID. So who's the problem here? Government or me or you?
It's me and you.
Exactly. That's my point. It's us. It starts with me and you, Solomzi. At the border, right? At Beitbridge or at Maseru border, right? There are people who come in and out of South Africa from Lesotho because with no passports, and they pay 250. I cannot blame Ramaphosa or Malema for that, because people who work there are people like me and you.
But you can.
No, we cannot. Because it's you who takes the bribe. It's not Ramaphosa, it's not Malema. You take the bribe. So you guys take the bribes and make the country a shithole, then come back and complain when it's a shithole. It starts with me and you. When me and you says no bribe, you will not enter there. We then expose the government, because of then we are taking a stand. But for as long as you help in this criminal act of bribery and making life easier for immigrants to come and do as they please, this thing will not change. Let's take accountability, guys. We also play a role in how bad this country is. We play that role. When you buy car parts from those scrapyards which are illegal, owned by Nigerians, you equally play a role. When you become a runner for those drug lords in Sunnyside, you equally play a role in destroying your Black brother, your Black sister, and your country. Let us take responsibility. At the end of the day, guys, we cannot always blame politicians. We equally play a huge role in where this country is as South Africans, especially Black South Africans. Even during voting, you will get shocked as to how much we play the role in destroying this country. For example, Solomzi, Last year during elections, right? I was voting in Centurion. You know, on that line, there were like 5 generations of white people making sure that Malema will not get to that presidential seat, and then that land policy will not change. We were in pubs, we were drinking. You ask a black person, dude, why are you not voting? We equally play a role in this country being a shithole. Until black people take their poverty serious, until we take our problems serious, this country will not change in our favor, unfortunately. And us being on these lives, always debating about these things, won't change either. We need to educate our friends, our sisters, as to how important it is to be politically conscious. Because at the end of the day, politics, they run our lives. It is politicians who sit in parliament and take big decisions which actually affect our lives. And until me and you change, Solomzi, until me and you become patriots for our country, unfortunately, the immigration issue or any issue affecting me and you will not improve. The change starts with me and you, Solomzi. And that is the truth. It starts with me and you, my brother. If I say I will not take this bribe, it's a first, sign of winning the war against so many problems in this country. Sometimes we are not against corruption. We're just against the fact that we are not eating with these animals. And until we stand in our truth and admit that we have a huge role to play, unfortunately, black people will always be on a back foot. Thank you.
May I say something, guys? And maybe, Pilisha, you can help me. Let's take, and guys, I agree with you. Like I say, this is a systematic challenge. You've got Botswana here, close to us. They have diamonds. You don't see Botswana people rushing here. Why? Because they've made sure that they benefit from their diamonds. The same model that has been deployed in Botswana has been done by Saudi Arabia. They've got oil and their citizens are benefiting from the oil. If you look at Dubai, then they don't have anything, but the whole world actually goes to Dubai. They have to pass by there. So I want to bring it home. Pilisha, we've got Somalians that we know that they sell fake goods. What are the citizens supposed to do with those? Should we just leave it and say the government needs to take care of it, or what really happens?
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So the issue with that thing is, right? A kid dies today after eating those chips. Do you know who goes to those shops tomorrow to go loot the very same shops? South Africans. Yes, South Africans.
We don't have money
the very same people who be like, Baba Hambe, right? The child died. Tomorrow morning, they go and loot the very same shops. I repeat, Bongiwe, the paza shop industry was run by us originally, right? I don't know what happened. It died, and then they took over. Instead of us saying, how dare we allow people to come and take over our industry, we blame them and want to ban them. No. Open your spaza shop, attract your people, and run these people out of business. However, it's us who opens our backgrounds to them. It is us. It starts with us. When you starve cancer, eventually it dies. However, when you feed cancer with what actually grows it, it will grow and grow and grow, and eventually it will kill you. We'll wake up one day, guys, and we will have people from outside ruling this country because we are so relaxed in our alcoholic behaviors. We always complain, and we always wait for people to come and save us. It's in our hands. We have the power as black to say that, let us take back our country. No Malema, no cereal will come to save you here.
Can we please, I'm going to ask
just on that point alone, just on that point of Spasas, just one, I'm begging.
Just one point.
Yeah, I just wanted, take this Spasa shop, and I say I open a Spasa shop. I go to buy at Coke and sell the right food. The Somalian next door to me, they go and produce their own thing from somewhere else. That is not Coke, that is poisonous, and they sell at half the price or 20% of the cost. Can we really blame South Africans then for exceeding there?
because these guys are not following the rules. Like, that's the challenge. They don't follow the rules, whereas we as South Africans have to play by the rules. That's where the challenge is. That's where the frustration comes in from our people. And that's why they actually end up leaving the spaza shop industry as well.
Bongiwe, I think that also it goes back to government making sure that there are people who are making sure that goods that are proper need to be sold in communities. We don't also talk about the food inspectors. So where are the food inspectors to ensure that the people who are selling stuff are compliant, which is another problem. Then you spoke about something about what other countries are doing. The only political party that talks to nationalization of the mineral resources, again, is the EFF. But yeah, asikho lapho. Musa Wenkosi, come in.
Yes. I'm actually worried really when I'm listening to this news, because now what I see now that the future has become more and more darker. You know why? Because us as blacks, we so much divided in the way that we are divided even in our own, like in our own families and even in our own societies and stuff. But now, how dare we are to protect the theft and also the hooligans and also the loitering of the country. Because why? I can tell you now, because now when people are just coming from their own countries, they come here, first and foremost, people that they loot the women, and then they will loot them in a way that they will have cackles, and then they will be giving birth in the hospital like cackles, they'll be like burning babies, and then they'll be mad after all, and then after that they'll be utilizing them with anything like alcohol, and then those girls will be like loving them, and then they'll be exchanging them from this one to this one, and from that one to that one. Now another thing that worries me is that issue of the economic. So what is then happen also, they will never stop there. Then they will start to be vigilant about what is happening in our ground forces, like, for instance, like tax shops and stuff. Then they will take that very same opportunity for those that's supposed to benefit, not supposed to benefit the South Africans. And then they will take the very same shop to occupy it. How can you go into the house of somebody and then you occupy a wife of that person, and then you occupy a land of that person, and then you occupy his shop of that person? So now, and then after that, you destroy their kids and feeding them with the wunga and dachas and PLCs, all those minerals, cocaine, and then they get those people to be mad and stuff. They'll be like mad. They'll be like mad.
Wait. Please use TikTok friendly language. Do not speak about.
I'm sorry for that. Sorry. I'm sorry for that. So what will happen is that they will challenge us. And then, what even worries me is that even churches, we've got some pastors here. Our pastors are hungry. They need also, even though they're fooling people, but they need to have their share of people whom they're fooling. So now there will be a man from another country will come, and then he will take the whole bread because it's like a breadwinner, a pastor. If he's got a congregate, he's a breadwinner. The congregant is a breadwinner. It is bread to feed his family. For those fools that are just following there or something, or those people that are going there or congregate. And then now another man will fly from their own country instead of getting there to fool people from there and then get that bread there and then feed his family. He'll come and take that bread of these pastors, of these useless pastors, and then now those useless pastors now be angry now because now they don't have a bread. Then they'll go now to go and to consult with sangomas and yangas and to take to take amandla, like to take those powers, dark powers, so that those to regain their congregant and stuff.
I'm going to
So now
stop.
I'm worried. And then now the
Wait,
issue of land. Let me come to issue of land.
No, wait,
Let me come with issue of land.
Wait, we are all lost, Shem. People in the comments, I thought it was myself only. Can you talk about one issue and then
Okay, let me speak about land. Let me be about land.
You've touched on a lot of issues. We don't know where you are going now. We are all lost now.
Can I speak on land? Can I speak on land? Can I speak on land? Yes, the issue of expropriation of land without compensation. So it worries me because now everybody has got a small piece of land at a real area or urban areas. So people, what they do in their land, they're drinking on top of their land. They're sleeping with their wife. They're busy protesting on the land. And they're burning tires of the land. Why people are not growing cabbages on their land? Why people are not working the ground forces
so I'm going to take you down and then you can listen.
Why?
On the floor, and then because you are not discussing what is being
worried.
discussed, to tool up.
Why people are just lazy to? But now, you know, I'm worried about youth because youth, they just like mad. They like
Musa, I'm a very patient. Wait, Lerato, wait. I'm a very
They've
patient.
been burning the land. Why must I do that? Why is the problem?
Musa, listen, I'm very patient, but you don't come here and gaslight us. We are discussing. Listen. If you don't want to listen, I'm going to block you. Listen. We are discussing a certain topic here. Kuthethwa ngoDudula, kuthethwa nge-foreign nationals. That's what we're talking about.
Let me speak about Tutula.
So listen.
Tutula is Abahambe. Must push them.
Musa.
That Tutula.
Musa, listening is a skill. I'm not finished. Listen. The problem with you came here, you've heard everybody that has submitted. Kuthethwa ngembe one. Ungandiwe, they stopped you the first time, they stopped you the second time. So what I'm going to do is I am going to drop you so that you can go listen in the comment section. When you are serious and ready to contribute to the conversation, in the land without expropriation, you can come tomorrow and we can discuss it. You can even go to another live and discuss it there. So because you are everybody who's here, I'm going to take you down. Because you did not respect us. And when you were being called out...
I respect you. But
when you are being called out in the life, you continue.
You've been banning infrastructure, Zizip. You've been banning everything. You've been banning the land, banning everything. EFF has been banning.
Come and do block.
Tutula is Abahambe. They must be removed.
Let me just...
Actually, we must Tutula you now. Because now you're not doing your job now. What is your job, Zizi? You better serious, man.
Okay, you can continue, guys. Block it.
He come in case you missed it. He is a MKP voter, ne? Just in case you missed it.
Thank you so much, Lerato. We've got the challenges here. I think these people who just go and sing for things that they're not even aware of what they're singing for, it's a problem. Pelishri, I was listening to part of what you're thinking as citizen we need to start to do, and I agree with you fully that we need to take accountability. But at the same time, we need to share that responsibility with our government in terms of law enforcement. Because, for example, even if we were to start and say, with the example that you made, that I start and say I won't take bribe, for example, but we can't all do that. That's why we'll have law enforcement. So the moment we have a good law enforcement that really takes the lead, it sets the tone for the rest of us. Because it doesn't help. I mean, currently, if we look at what is happening within our country, it's not that we are all not law-abiding citizens. We are, some of us, but the vast majority of us, we are not. And there are no repercussions in terms of that. Because, for example, how many times we even go to the street and we want justice for Kwekwe, rightfully so. But the law enforcement, which is government in this case, and I want us to start to separate when we talk of politicians and government, we need to start separating those two, because there are times where we avoid talking about government responsibility in the name of politicians, because we'll be generalizing all of them. There are politicians who are not in government, and there are those who are governing who've got responsibility, like Abo Gaten, who can't even come now and support their stance, Oslerato, which now, this is where South Africans were supposed to see them for who they are. But the unfortunate part is part of the problem that we're having is many of our people, or part of our people, they don't exactly know what they want. They are just fed things that are not there, and they completely run with them. Because, for example, how many times are we sitting here and we're listening to people talking about EFF being responsible for people who are here not rightfully so, and those who are breaking the law, because people are fed all these things. Even if EFF comes out loudly so to say, everyone to start the entire process of having law and order, everyone has to be documented. And then people come and want to distort the truth and the reality of how things need to be done. And then before you know it, we're just following things that are not there. And that's why we don't get to the core of the issues. Until we conscientize all these people. The problem is, the more we're conscientizing, even those who are spreading propaganda are very hard at work. Because I'm not sure when was the last time I heard about Dudula. And from what you are saying, Oslerato, of having them in court there, I'm sure they are stranded there. They're even lost. They don't even know what's happening. And chances are, from there on, they will have to be called to order, because these things are not correct, that our people are being harassed like that and unprovokedly so. We can't accept this type of thing. So I agree with you, Pelishri. Pelisha, we have to do our part as citizens of upholding the law, but government has to do more than what we're supposed to be doing, because otherwise we'll be in the banana republic. Thank you so much.
Lexi, can I just add, and I'm gonna be done, Zizipo, sorry. When Alexi, I think it's Lexi, yeah. Government, I think, is spending almost millions deporting these people. Let's say they deport 200 people back to Zimbabwe. The following day they come back. And Malema is saying that is wasteful expenditure, because number one, we deport Thabo, Tabang or whatever from Zimbabwe, right? How sure are you these people are not back in this country within 2 days? And he's asking valid questions. We are not even sure that those who we have deported not so long ago, after we spent millions, are not back in this country. Because number one, they are undocumented. How do we trace them? We have no tracing or tracking system. So what's going to work? Document these people. When you document them, when they do any crime, it is easier for you to then apprehend them and arrest them. There comes an open border policy. Now imagine if there was an open border policy in Mozambique, in Zimbabwe. Instead of us now applying, for example, with the Bashiri issue, we are now waiting for their courts to give a go-ahead for us to actually take them back from, I think it's Malawi, back to South Africa for him to come and answer for his sins. If we had that open border policy, there will not be any need for us to make applications to their courts to bring him back in. We will simply go fetch Bushiri and bring him back to answer. So people want to attack Julius and not listen to the policy. And these are long-term beneficial policies. We're not trying to give microwave results. People want microwave results. They want leaders who lie to them. They want leaders who are performative, who would go to the border and go guard a portion of Limpopo and say Mabambe for 2 hours. When it's too hot, they go back to their Santon homes and we're like, oh yeah, let us applaud him. He's working. But then people in the EFF did extensive research. They are giving us long-term solutions, which currently makes sense. Now, a Mozambican guy rapes your sister and they run to Mozambique. For example, this case here, Olorado, one of the guys was said that he was running towards Zimbabwe. They ran there because they know that for the government to go and trace them in Zimbabwe, it would be nearly impossible. Now, had we had that open border policy, that guy would have been found by tomorrow. Nandipa would not be taking the country to a Concord due to how the country took her away from Tanzania if we had that open border policy, because then there wouldn't be people applying that how they were taken from Tanzania, it was incorrect, blah, 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 blah. So we are very short-sighted as Black South Africans, and we allow the media to tell us who should be our leaders, who should tell our stories. And that's the reason why we will always find ourselves in the back foot. Guys, when you travel, like for example, Napoleon spoke about the UAE in particular. In the UAE, I include Napoleon, most of the workforce there, your Uber drivers and ABCD, are Pakistanians and Kenyans. Now, we get the type of foreigners here who come and commit all sort of nonsense. In the UAE, your Pakistanis are proper Uber drivers who wear suits. They are law-abiding citizens. We should tell you about the country because, number one, they are people who will die for their country. Can we say the same about ourselves? No. Who is the law enforcement again? It's me and you. Alex, we are the law enforcement, and then we take the bribe. So now, if we staff this cancer as law and as law-abiding citizens, I am telling you guys, the government will have no choice but to join the party, because then the change would have started with us. Now, buy from your people. Let's make sure that the township economy belongs to us. And right, like with legal things, not that Uguti umalume from a house down my house steals cars. And then we are the same people who we call these thugs, man. We worship the culture of criminality. We worship them. And then you come back and say, but government is not fighting crime. Kanjani sisi wena when you call you hold money. How is government not fighting crime? You are sitting with a thug in your house. A thug is your neighbor. You worship that thug. Then you come and go and ban a library and say government is corrupt. You see your life. Nah, take me serious, please.
Amara Polisha, I agree with everything you say, but I have to play devil's advocate, man. You are being too hard on our people. You're being way too hard. Because here's the thing, man. You are right in everything you're saying. But here's the thing. I was talking to this guy, JMPD. He's a police officer. So I was asking him about this thing about these hijacked buildings and these drugs that are going on. Why don't you guys do something? You know what he told me? He said,
Talk friendly language, Solomzi. Don't say the D word. Say powder or something.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I was asking about these powder dealers. And his answer was, I agree with you. A lot of us want to do something about it, but the higher ups, this is the JMPD. They have I don't know what you call him, but he's the higher ups. The sections that as policemen, they are not allowed to go into. There's buildings they know, but they're not allowed to go to. Why is that? Obviously, the high-ups is taking bribe. It goes back to what you're saying. But here's the thing. Why do I blame the government? Who's supposed to enforce, there's no corruption? is the government. If you can do corruption and you know what there's consequences, you'll go to jail for it. The likeliness of you doing corruption is less. So expecting more moral people, all of us to be moral, isn't possible. You can't all be moral. And it's not everybody who accepts bribes. But because we have a weak system that does not punish people that do illegal things, that's why illegal things that are happening. Not only that, our politicians they advertise it. I know we are here, we are charming the money, we are taking bribes. It's nice. So, and another thing, EFF is the only way. Sharp, I agree. We all agree we should all vote EFF. But here's the thing. People don't really care about political things. Consciousness and all that, they don't really care. They're living their lives, they're enjoying TikTok. When they're on TikTok, they're watching dance videos. It's not politically, they don't care. They don't die. It's not there. It's not for them. When propaganda comes on SABC one with the EFF is like this, they believe it because they don't do their own research. They don't follow political news. They're easy to manipulate. And at that same time, it's not even on them. They don't also believe in politics. Why? One time they believed in the ANC. ANC was supposed to be the great savior. ANC sold everybody out. So they believe we are all the same. They think EFF is the same as ANC. They're probably going to get into power. They want to sell us out. So I understand where they're coming from. And at the same time, they want to do something about it. They see what
Can I ask you, right? Gayton McKenzie's background, how is it? Is not this guy, is not an ex-thug who would do heists and kill people? Is he not?
Yeah, he's dead.
Who went to go put an X next to his face? Is it government or the people?
It's the people.
Now, how do you guys send corrupt thugs to parliament to go do the law, which actually governs you and I, and expect that corruption just disappears when you guys literally go to court cases of people who are facing 735 charges of corruption for arms deal and say, when Zuma can't pendule. It's the people, the very same people of South Africa, go and support the very same thugs. They vote them into power. Hence, I am saying, Solomzi, our leaders are the reflection of us. We reflect those Popeyes in parliament. We, the people. Those idiots, I'm sorry to say idiots, who put that X next to Gayton McKenzie's face with Kenny Kunene, who, by the way, was responsible for running a whole Ponzi scheme, went to go put an X on that party's and said, we want them in parliament. Then you guys come back and complain about corruption. When you send thugs to parliament, Solomzi, let us, please. Yeah, I would always tell you this, Solomzi, and I will not fault our people for the lack of understanding via how the media works due to the number that Bantu education did on our parents. And in the current youth, I guess, now we are obsessed with Twitter, we are obsessed with alcohol and groove. So I will not blame Johan Rupert for doing a number on ENCA lying about Julius, because of we as the youth, we owe it to ourselves. We are unemployed, not Johan Rupert. So if Tina, we won't take the time to literally take a stand against our poverty and our situations, I will not blame the forces, because it is us who aid this corrupt element. I will also repeat, it is us who aid the corrupt element. I used to work in human settlements in the city of Tshwane. So people will then go into this illegal thing, this housing thing where they go into this like torn up buildings, they stay there, and then ABCD happens that they must be evicted. And then your human rights thing is they come and fight for these people. Hey, why are you guys evicting them? Blah, blah, blah. I will repeat Wena Solomzi. We all know that Joburg CBD has illegal scrapyards ran by Nigerians. You and I know. You and I know about Ubudi, Oikhotman, Ochonje Eimoto, Ekasi. You and I know who strips those cars and how they operate. They put those cars by the shops where there's no one. the thing will come, tracker will come to see where's this car. After a few days, the car is stripped and then they sell the parts. You and I know this. We know these things, Solomzi. But you and I will not call the police and say, so-and-so is doing A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Because you fear that the police will then tell so-and-so it's Solomzi who told us about you. But however, these things, they start from us, Solomzi. Me and you steal cars, we bribe the police, and then it's a system. Then I recruit your baby brother to be the one who strips the cars for me because, hey, he's poor. And then cry and say we are poor. Then the following night, we see my grandmother crying, crime is very bad in South Africa. Oh, Gogo. Uhlanas isgebengu endlini. It gives you food endlini. Until Tina, we stand against this corrupt element. Stop voting for tax to go to parliament, number one. Yeah. Hold your leaders accountable, number two. We should not treat our leaders as demigods. We should not. And number two, I don't follow the EFF because of Malema, and maybe a few years ago when I was still young, I would say, yeah, he's the reason why I joined the EFF. However, when I became, mature, you follow policy, not the leader. So until we follow leaders who are genuinely there to push our struggles and not to make money out of us, we are in a mess that we will never come out of. And I feel sorry for our kids. But the change starts with us. I'm done. I'm done for the day. I'm done.
Can I reply? Then I drop, ne?
Okay.
I agree with what you are saying, just like what Solomzi was trying to say. Unless you are saying, as the people, you are including these people who've got authority in government, including your law enforcers, because there is absolutely no way as ordinary people without authority can be above those with authority. Yes, there are instances where we can mention few things, but I can tell you now, even if we are doing the right thing now, like you have given examples, I go and try to report something that I know it is not happening correctly. Before you know it, you'll be coming to my funeral to say, Hamba kahle fighter. Okay. Now that is why we need to at the center of it, we need to change this sitting government, because we have seen how useless it is and how it is anti all of us here.
But Lexi,
because it supports the other people.
During voting, my dear, you are alone. It was secret. No cop will say to Zuma, Lexi did not vote for you. Or during voting, you are alone. There's no cop who will say, I saw you voting for Julius Malema, I'm going to shoot you. So tell me, what kind of a right person who's saying in their mind will vote Gaten McKenzie, a whole criminal? Because during voting, you are alone. No cop will shoot you there and say, oh, look at Lexi selling us out. You are alone. That's the only time whereby you have the authority over even Cyril Ramaphosa. During voting day, you become Jesus in this country because you have the power to say, I am changing what's happening currently. And what do you guys do? As always, go to taverns and say, yep. Oh, yeah, see, Israel scoop or some TikTok challenges. And then some care they vote the DA and Gaten McKenzie. Like, you guys have the opportunity on voting day to say, I am making a change. I am done with this corrupt element. And guess what? Our people will disappoint you, Shem. They will alone, Baba, on that booth, alone, no camera, no nothing, with a pen. Disappointment, Kesanalwam. Disappointment.
Yeah, no, I agree. But the challenge that we're having is now we need to go down and conscientize our people. Me and you, we can be able to vote correctly because we understand. But our people, money is being used down there. T-shirt is used there, down there. And piece of bread and meat on the voting day. And even a bottle of beer. So this is a challenge that we're having. But we need a shared responsibility between us as citizens who start to do right, and even those who have authority in government as law enforcers to do correctly. Thank you so much. Let me drop.
And a polish last question, because I'll not win this debate. I can hear. Okay, answer this one question again. We hear all of this. Okay, let me.
And then you will come back to Pilisha, please, ma'am.
I just wanted to say this on what Felicia is saying, because I see that it seems like a lot of people don't understand, because what I realize, we all we want to do is to blame, but we don't want to take responsibility and accountability. What she is saying is that the uh, the corrupt politicians, the people who, if you have corrupt politicians and are elected into government, those people are not the perpetuators of corruption. And the people on the floor are not actually the victims of that corruption. The people on the ground are not actually the victim of the corruption. They are the perpetuators of the corruption, because you are the one who is electing these people, knowing very well they are corrupt, but you elect them. You know, under these politicians who are in government, we will have police who will be killed for keeping the laws of the country. We know that that there are people who will be who maybe are working in the home affairs or wherever in government entities that will be harassed for refusing to participate in corruption. But we keep on electing those people who keep on perpetuating corruption, and then we want to play victim of this corrupt government. That's what she is saying, that we need to take responsibility and accountability as citizens to understand that politicians do not have powers. The powers they have are those powers they have are given to them by us. And then we want to play victims, while every other 5 years we go. I was staying in the location there, and then we went to elections. 1 year later, we had to go on the street to Toy for the services. Okay, it's fine. We join, we go there. Now, nothing is happening. We still have potholes that they are being closed with a sand. We still have water problems. We still have sewages running down our streets. Nothing is happening. 5 years goes by, and then the time for elections comes again. Same people who were telling us, no, we cannot go to work, guys, let's go and are going to vote for the same people we were toying against. That is madness. That is insane. It's insanity. Now you telling me I should do this thing every time I go and elect same people, and then 3 months down the line you want to tell me let's go and toy and tell that guy we need water, we need our roads fixed, we need our sewage fixed. But we gave these people a time. They couldn't do that. Instead, they are killing each other for the positions we put them in. But we still don't take accountability and say, no, we put wrong people here, let's remove these people. We don't do that. Yet we want to point fingers at them and say, yeah, these people are selling our country. These people are not protecting our country. These people are not doing this, are not doing that. Yet we are the ones who keep on putting them there. That is what she's saying.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Sanborn and Bongwen. ngicela ukukhuluma nami. Yebo njani? Nayinzawo lana engibona ngathi mhlambe siyayilibala noma mhlambe last nasixoxa la sine conversation ngingathi mina asendeni itaba bekuthi umphakathi lo siphila kuwo uyasiconza futhi sikwende
Please try and include English. Kukhona bengavayo, and please, you've got a noise at the back. I'm not sure ukuthi nguwe okanye nguRose lune noise. Rose in the October because yasingolela. I'm not sure uba nguwe okanye ngubani longxalayo. Nguwe ke wena, please, you can't come into a live kukho abantu abayi-TV intoni, because wonke umuntu othetha, you notice that we are in a quiet environment.
ngicabanga ukuthi manje ku-right izizipha ngithi.
Yeah. Just even though ukhuluma please mix with English. There are people who don't understand English. Our language is up with flow. Let's accommodate abanye abantu. You can go on.
Okay. Zizip, this is what I'm trying to make to us to understand. We are living in a community whereby inhlangano will have to try by all means